You're listening to the Voicing Your Brand podcast, episode number 5. Welcome to Voicing Your Brand. I'm your host, Tammy Romani, and as a voiceover talent for more than 30 years, I've been a voice for many brands. But in today's digital marketing world, you've got to have your own voice for business. So now my mission is to help you learn how to use your voice for success by unlocking your authentic voice to tell your story and be heard. Are you ready? Welcome to the studio. Here it is, Thanksgiving week here in the U.S. Now, if you're listening elsewhere, I know you probably have other holidays where you celebrate a day of thanks. But for us in the U.S., end of November, we eat a lot, more than we should, and we celebrate a day of Thanksgiving. And you know, November then, because of that, is typically a month where we turn our thoughts toward thankfulness and gratitude. And this is like a natural time for reflection for us as we approach the holidays. So I thought we would just take a few minutes today, because I know your time is limited this week, and dive into some of the ways that practicing gratitude can shift your mind, it can shift your heart, and shift your business of all things. That was a bit of a new concept to me until I heard my friend Kelsey tell me that in interviewing wildly successful people all over the country, she found that the common denominator for every single one of them was that they had a daily practice of showing gratitude. A daily practice. Do you have a daily practice of gratitude? I have some friends who decide that in the morning they're going to think on 3 things that they're grateful for that happened the day before. That's a great way to start. Even writing one thing down in the morning. Or I have another friend who says she finishes her day by writing in a journal the things she's grateful for that happened that day. I have another friend who said she writes 10 things down. Now, you would think 10 things, that's a lot, but they are simple things like, I'm happy to have a warm cup of tea this morning. I'm happy to have clean water to drink. I'm happy that my daughter slept through the night. Things that we take for granted, she makes sure to write down in a moment of gratitude. So I want to just ask you, do you have a practice of gratitude? You know, in our society, we are so quick to always see the negative in a situation. And, you know, it's been said that we typically tend to give negative feedback 10 times more time than we do positive. And that's on the receiving end and, unfortunately, the giving end. We give 10 times more negative feedback than we do positive. And we receive 10 times more negative feedback than positive. So if that's true, what does that do for our mindset? It messes with you. I'll tell you, that's what it is. And it really takes practice, and it takes doing it more than just 1 month a year. I do love all the gratitude posts. I love the 30 days of gratitude. I love the gratitude diaries that I'm seeing. But I'd really love to see us make it a daily thing. I did a quick Google search, and I searched for how does gratitude help business? And I was actually very surprised. I came up with articles in such well-known business publications as Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., and Fast Company. Why do you think that is? Well, the first article I read was from Forbes, and the author said, I truly believe that gratitude, when it's genuine, has the power to help transform the emotional bankruptcy we feel when we are confronted with negative feedback. Now, if you're in a corporate setting, you've had that happen. You've gotten negative feedback. You have messed up. If you are an entrepreneur, you have messed up. Or maybe you've had an internet troll completely flatten you one day with a negative comment. Now, why do we give such strength to negative comments from someone we just work with? They're not even a close friend, or someone that is a complete stranger on the internet. So here's how this person dealt with that. As a leader, when I felt like people on my team were lagging behind or disengaging, I reached out and instead of criticizing them, I expressed gratitude for their work. Now listen, it goes on to say, I can say from experience that the difference between the impact of giving negative feedback, such as, what happened to the report you promised to return by this morning at 8 a.m., and instead offering gratitude, such as, I value our thought partnership. Let me know what I can support you in your work. What can I do to support you? The reaction was off the charts astounding. Negative feedback results in lower engagement, higher turnover at work. Listen, if you are any kind of a leader, you need to pay attention to this. And, quite frankly, substandard work. While, on the flip side, gratitude builds engagement and trust, increases retention, and results in higher quality work. Now, that's from a Forbes article called Why Expressing Gratitude is Good for Business and People, and I will link to that in the show notes so you can read all the details yourself. Okay, then the next article I read was in Inc. magazine, and the title of that article is 3 Ways Gratitude Increases Success. And it's by a lady named Molly St. Louis. I just want to reiterate what she says here because her wind-up was, perhaps we should give thanks all year round. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, this is Thanksgiving week. Yes, we are so grateful for our lives and even the bad things that happen. The key to learning about bad things that happen is realizing that sometimes bad things are even happening for us and not to us. And there's some little thing in there we can be grateful for. So back to that article in Inc. magazine. You know, if you are an entrepreneur, there's something kind of special about being able to design your own life. I mean, we get to design our own lives and do what we love. And so as we reflect this month, I want to finish off with these 3 things that this author says. First of all, gratitude leads to happiness. It's not the other way around. There's a science behind this. A lot of people say, when I have this, then I'll be grateful. When I'm happy, then I'll be grateful. But what scientists have discovered is that if you practice gratitude now, the benefits to your mental health will then reflect on improving your job status, give you a happier mindset, attract more people who are like you, also happy, to your work that you are doing. And happier people are 12% more productive. So there you go. That's one way that gratitude leads to success. And then that kind of creates a snowball effect. Now, you've heard the term law of attraction, and we can go all over the spectrum about what that means. There's no woo-woo to this. You are naturally attracted to people who are like you, people who have the same ideas as you, and people who are positive. When you walk into a room and you let's say you are absolutely in a social anxiety situation. You walk into a room, you scope the room. Who's the person you gravitate to? You gravitate to the one who is smiling. Whether they're smiling at you or not, they may be engaged in conversation with a small group of people. I know for me, I will gravitate to that person and stand in the background just to hear what they're saying. So when you practice gratitude, your mindset shifts, you are happier, and it helps swing that little law of attraction into our favor because people are attracted to a grateful heart. It draws other people to you. And in that way, I think it will probably help you with your business. So it's a perfect illustration that gratitude leads to increased positivity, which in turn attracts more people to you. And there is science behind that. There is research behind that. But come on, isn't that just common sense? So what I'm grateful for today is you listening to this podcast. I mean, it's brand new, and here we are already on our 5th episode. So I want to thank you for joining me. I am so grateful for you. I'm grateful that my new baby granddaughter was born just a few days ago, and she is healthy, and Mama is healthy, Daddy's healthy, and little brother is getting over a cold, but he's healthy too for the most part. It's just a beautiful addition to our family, and we're so excited for that. I'm so grateful for that this week. I am grateful for the chance to jump out of my comfort zone and not hide behind a microphone anymore, but to actually coach people and help people unlock their voice and get over that fear of speaking about that brilliance that you have inside of you. It's an honor and a privilege. So just those 3 things today, I think that you can find 3 things a day. So let's all get into the habit of being grateful, having a grateful heart, expressing gratitude more than just November every year, okay? Make it a daily habit, and it will lead to greater success. I want to close us out today by sharing a couple of comments I received when I asked about this in a business group I'm in online. And one of the gals said, "It's funny how God leads us through the things we need to learn completely in a way that speaks to each individual heart. I used to sort of roll my eyes when I heard someone talk about gratitude and abundance because I thought they were just trying to push God for something, like a name it and claim it thing. Now I understand that once you can truly have a heart of gratitude, even when things aren't going the way you hoped, it doesn't matter if anything changes because you have already learned what true joy is. However, often the Lord blesses you in ways you would never expect or even know to ask for. Not just money, but relationships, love, peace, and about a situation." So I love that. I love that. This person named Jennifer, thank you, Jennifer, has gone through this process where she learned what having a grateful heart did for her. The next person, Michelle, said, "I was doing a daily gratitude journal, but I wasn't being consistent. I found when I started writing out what I was grateful for and why it made a huge difference. For example, instead of, 'I'm thankful for Jack,' who is my son, I now write, 'I'm thankful for Jack today because holding his hand while he napped helped me pause and just be in the moment.'" Oh my goodness, that just hits me right in all the feels, especially with a new granddaughter. Be in the moment. Be grateful for what you have. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this has given you pause. I hope this has given you a moment to reflect, and I'd love to hear from you. How do you incorporate a practice of gratitude in your daily life? Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great November. And as we launch into the holidays around the world, let's do it with grateful hearts. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time. Bye-bye.